So, icebreaker, lot of pressure, lot of stress. Well, when I was told last week, I was excited and nervous at the same time to deliver an icebreaker, as I didn't know what to do, what to speak about, what to share, how to structure my speech. There is so much a person can tell about themselves, but after thorough consideration and 2 nights worth of writing and drafting a document, I came up with an absolutely boring piece of shit that I had to drop. So I decided to drop it all and just go with my instinct. I wrote down some bullet points and I said, let's make it an interesting one rather than a deep and sort of a lot more intimate and a boring one. So let's make it an interesting one. Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Saad. When people meet me, they have always sort of had, mixed views about me. First of all, about my age. The people who meet me for the first time, they think I'm 40 because of, the salt and pepper situation going on in my hair. I have a lot of white hair. The people who meet me for the second, third time think I'm 25 because of my behavior, the way I act. It's a really childish attitude. Well, just to clarify, I was born on 1989, September 2. The other reason that I'm throwing this out is that I'm letting some people know that my birthday is coming up. So if there are any surprises planned, I'm open for it. Anyways, the reason and the objective why I joined Toastmasters was actually, I was always looking into, tapping up the potential of the power of persuasion. The words that can convince someone of an idea or an argument that I'm presenting. I was fairly moderate to good, I would say, when I was a kid in persuasion. So I learned it really early. I was like around 4 or 5 years old. And I decided to, really tap into this potential back then. I got somehow good at it. Whenever I wanted something, ranging from a bicycle to an electric car, which was a big thing in the 90s, I would just use my persuasion technique with my parents. I would lie on the ground, start screaming and waving my arms and legs in the air. And they would just agree to buy me whatever I wanted. All of a sudden, there was a time when I wanted to buy a mobile phone. The same technique apparently didn't work because, once you are 15 years old and you're lying on the ground rolling and crying, doesn't really work with the parents. So that was the moment when I realized that you have to know your audience and you have to know the tricks that you need to play in order to persuade the other person. You have to realize the age that you are in, the position that you're in, the way that you interact with the other person really depends on all these factors. So that was the time when puberty was on its peak and I was getting really ugly. Facial hair starts to come in all disproportionate ways on your face and then you start to grow up. So I always had this passion of acting. I always dreamt about being an actor, playing different sort of roles, characters and all of that. So when the time came for me to, start my professional education, like any other logical parents, my parents gave me 2 choices. They said either you choose engineering or disgrace to your family. So I chose the first one. I became an engineer. So I went to an engineering university. During my 7 wonderful years in engineering university, I learned so many things. Now, whenever I tell people my story, they usually question me, but Saad, engineering just takes 4 years. Yes, for most of the people, yes, but I really wanted to learn engineering really well. I wanted to get to the depth of engineering, so I spent 7 whole years in the university. I can get all the engineering knowledge that I want. I went to Fast University. The university was very slow. The name was Fast, as Hassan might concur because he's from the same university. When I went there, I realized that I'm not really into engineering. My true passion still lies in acting. I found out after 6 months, after one semester completion, I found out that there's a drama society. So I can join maybe this drama society and, bring out my real potential while pursuing my engineering degree as well. So in order to pursue my passion for drama, I joined the engineering society. And in engineering society, because I didn't want to bring disgrace to my family, so you have to be careful. So I joined the engineering society, and that's when I had my first public speaking experience in front of an audience of almost 300 people, juniors, seniors, my batchmates sitting on the back benches making faces and hand gestures, really making my first experience a living hell. I went through that, and the one after that, and the one after that. But once I reached a specific time in my engineering society, I realized that they don't really allow you to continue leading that society right after the 4 years, because now the next generation, the next batches, they have to come and assume. So the last 3 years, I was not doing anything in the society. That was the time when I realized my true potential or my true passion doesn't lie in, engineering. That was understood. Even drama or acting, that was understood as well. So I found my new passion, that was entrepreneurship. So the moment I finished my university and I came back to Saudi, the first thing I did to, get into achieving the passion of my entrepreneurship was I got a job in a large organization. So I started working there, and I realized that, large organizations really make use of your potential, your skill set, and everything, and they just simply kill your dream of being an entrepreneur. So after spending a year with them, I decided, okay, I don't have a business background. I'm an engineer. I had to learn some business tactics. I don't know what's a SWOT analysis, what's a pestle analysis. Once I learned all of these things, I said now is the right time to follow the entrepreneurial line. So I jumped onto the next opportunity that came my way, and I started another job in another large corporation. Well, I finished 5 to 6 years of my journey with them, and that was the time when I was roughly 28, 29. This is the time in every man's life when they start their pursuit for happiness, their pursuit for love. So as well, I started my pursuit for love, and I found it 5 times. Considering the 5th one was the lucky charm. I went into it. I got married. Fortunately, it was a good experience, and I've been married for almost 5 years. During those years, I came to realize that, I have been so far away from my dreams, from the things that I was meant to achieve. I was always aspiring to be an actor. Then I was aspiring to be an entrepreneur. I had to give up so many options. So after 10 years of my career, I finally got an opportunity where I jumped into another large corporation and finally killed my entrepreneurial dream. And then I realized my true passion is just from jumping from one good salary to another good salary. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for having me here. Sorry to take a lot of your time. Thank you so much.